Habari gani? Ujima. Say Ujima. Ujima means collective work and responsibility. For the third day of Kwanzaa, we're doing a craft that the whole family can do together. We're going to make a hand wreath. A wreath is a decoration that people hang on doors or on the wall, and it looks almost like a circle. So we're going to make a wreath using the handprints of our family members. So each family member will need one or two sheets of construction paper. You should use black, red, or green, which are the colors of Kwanzaa. You'll need a pencil or a marker. You'll need scissors, a glue stick, or tape. So I've got my construction paper. I've got one in each color. I have a pencil and a marker. I've got a glue stick and I've got some scissors. So to start making our hand wreath, each family member is going to trace both handprints. You want to make sure that you have both hands in one color for each family member, because later you're going to connect those and we want to be able to see how each family member helped to make this craft come to life. If you have a smaller family, you may need to make two sets of handprints, maybe in a different color, and that would be okay. It's totally up to you. But again, just make sure that your fingers are spread apart when you go to trace your handprints on your construction paper. So I am going to start with red for myself. And with my left hand, fingers spread apart, I'm going to place it down on the construction paper. And I'm going to very carefully just trace around my fingers. I'm going to start where my wrist and my hand meet. And I'm just going to slowly go up and around each of my fingers. Okay, so once I've got my first handprint traced, it's a little hard to see. I didn't trace very dark, but it's there. I am going to switch hands. This is going to be a little trickier because I'm not left-handed. I am holding the pencil terrible. But that's okay. We are going to persevere through it. It's a little bit of a challenge, but we got this. We're going to go ahead and trace our other hand. So again, starting where our wrist meets our hand, the palm of our hand, we're just going to carefully, and I'm going to go a little slower than I did the first time, just going to trace my handprint. Feel free to pause the video now and at any time where you are working on any step that takes you a little bit longer than it takes me. That is perfectly fine, especially if you're working with a big family. I can understand that you need to pause it so that you can help younger family members get this part done, because it can be a little tricky. So I've got both handprints. I hope you can see that. They are there, I promise you. And once I've got both handprints, I'm going to carefully take that pair of scissors and cut outside of the handprint. I don't want to cut on the line, because I find that when we cut too close to the line, it makes our fingers look kind of weird and they might get a little skinny. And you definitely don't want to cut inside the line, because it's going to make your hand like a skeleton hand. So you want to try to cut outside of the line that you drew, but pretty close to it, because you do want it to show your hand. So take your time and carefully cut out each hand. Older family members helping those younger family members. Definitely tricky to cut out handprints, especially when you get close to where our fingers meet at the top of our hand, right? That can be really tricky for little kiddos. So please pause the video if you need to, just to help younger family members get this part done. We want it to look as nice and neat as we can so that we can actually use our wreath for decoration. So we'll just keep cutting here. I'm almost done with my first hand, and then I'm gonna have to stop and do it again, right? That's okay. This part takes the longest. Okay, so I've got my first handprint cut out and ready to go. I'm gonna set that aside, and then I'm gonna cut out the second one. So again, take your time, help the younger family members. We'll get them all cut out. It is quite okay if you pause and then just press play when you're ready to continue. The wonderful thing about technology, you don't have to try to keep up with me. Almost done with that second hand. Just being very careful around the part where my fingers meet. Don't want to accidentally cut any fingers off or make those edges too sharp. We want it to look as much like our handprints as we can. Okay, so almost done here with my second hand. Okay, so once each family member has cut out both hands, we are going to overlap them in a circular pattern. So you're just going to lay them out on your table or on the floor, wherever you are working, and you're just going to overlap them until you've got a nice circle around. So I found that at least a dozen hands are needed to make a decent size wreath. If you got more hands, the more the better. Your wreath can be big and beautiful. If you've got less people in your family, again, you should each cut out 2, maybe even 3 sets of handprints, because you want to have at least 6 sets or 12 prints all together, okay? Now that I've got all of my handprints arranged in a nice circular pattern to make my wreath, I'm going to use a glue stick to secure them or hold them together. So I'm just going to overlap them. For example, I'm going to take one of my handprints and take a child's handprint. And I'm just going to put it right on top like that. Then I'll put a little bit of glue onto the child's handprint to hold it on. And we're just going to continue just like that until we've made a circular pattern, okay? I like to alternate between bigger hands and smaller hands. I also like to alternate between colors. So just get creative there and just overlap those handprints in whatever way you think looks nice. So I do just keep overlapping, and I always put the next one on top. So you see how the first black one was at the bottom, and then the green is on top, the red is on top of that one. I think it just looks nice to have a uniform or similar setup all the way around. But again, feel free to use your kuumba, your creativity, and you can do this however you please. So I'm just going to keep going. I am alternating big hands and small hands. And I am alternating colors also. I'm alternating red, black, green, or I should say black, red, green, so that it is actually following the Kwanzaa colors. So I realized I did not do that initially. I did black, green, red, but no big deal because my glue is still wet. I can fix that. We want to definitely make sure that we are keeping in mind that the people come first, our struggle or the work that we must do individually by ourselves, and the work that we must do collectively or together comes next. And finally, we enjoy our successes. So I pulled that apart, and I'm going to start with my black, and I'm going to put red on next in the spirit of Kwanzaa, because the work comes before the success. So forgive me for that mess up there, that error, but I have fixed it. And now I've got it in the correct pattern. We want it to be black, red, and green. If you've already put it together and you're not able to pull it apart, that is quite okay. You are allowed creative freedom because this is all being done in the spirit of Kuumba. That is our creativity. Just make sure that you do understand that we cannot enjoy the successes until we've put in the work that is necessary. So that's all I'm going to say. But you're just going to continue overlapping them very nicely until you've got all the families' handprints put together. It really helps if you start by laying them all out in that circular pattern on the table or on the floor before you begin, because in that way, you'll know better how they'll all fit together. You may still change some things and turn some things around, which is totally okay. But if you start with a good idea of how it's going to come together, it just makes it easier when you actually start to glue it together. So I'm almost done. My circle is almost complete here. Going to keep going, alternating black, red, and green until my circle is complete. And just remember to tape that last handprint or glue that last handprint to the first handprint so that you end up with a complete circle. All right. So here is my family's wreath. Let me see yours. Oh, that is beautiful. Amazing work. Nice job working together. So the last thing that we can do is optional. It is completely up to you, but we could write the names of each family member in each handprint, and we can write a hope for how we will work collectively with others to make our community, our family first, and then our larger community healthier and happier. This is a good way to hold ourselves responsible for the work that we hope to do in the coming year. So again, what you could do, this is optional, you don't have to, of course, but you can write your name. I'm going to write my name in my first finger. Actually, I'm going to write it in the thumb. I'll write my name in the thumb, just like this. And then I am going to write a promise of how I am going to work collectively with others to make our community better. Okay, so I am going to share my knowledge of how great our people are. I will show it too. So here is my promise, because I am a teacher. Could you tell? I am going to share my knowledge with my students and other teachers and principals and anyone who hears my voice of how great our people are, and I will show them how great we are too. And I'll show them through my work, through my actions, through my behavior. So that's optional, but that's a great thing to add to your wreath. And it just helps us to think about and hopefully remember throughout the year that we are making this promise to work collectively with others in our family and in our bigger community to make our community healthier and happier. Join us for our next craft for Ujima. Wishing you a joyous Kwanzaa. Heri za Kwanzaa.